Islamic history is a vast ocean of knowledge, yet certain topics are often pulled to the surface without their proper context. Among the most discussed is the marriage of Aisha bint Abi Bakr to the Prophet Muhammad. In the modern age, this topic is frequently met with confusion or controversy, often filtered through cultural lenses that were non-existent in the 7th century. Our objective today is to step back from contemporary emotional narratives and examine the issue through the lens of authentic Salafi scholarship and classical sources. To do this, we must rely on the most rigorous standards of evidence, the primary texts, and the consensus of the most recognized scholars of the Sunnah. To understand the marriage, we must first understand the person. Aisha was born into the house of the Prophet's closest friend, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Raised in a home where Islam was lived from its very inception, she was a child of the new faith, her character molded by its highest principles. Even from a young age, her intelligence was extraordinary. She possessed a remarkable memory and a keen analytical mind that would later shape Islamic jurisprudence. Aisha would become one of the foremost prolific narrators of hadith, transmitting over 2,000 traditions that define our understanding of the faith today. Her contributions are unique. She provided the world with insights into the Prophet's private character and daily rituals that were inaccessible to others. Her expertise was not limited to religion. She was a master of Arabic poetry, history, and even ancient medicine, earning the admiration of the leading companions. After the passing of the Prophet, her home became a premier center of learning, where she taught over 80 scholars, including her nephew Urwa. We now turn to the textual evidence found in the Sahihain, the collections of al-Bukhari and Muslim, the most authentic books after the Quran. The primary narration in Sahih al-Bukhari provides the specific timeline reported by Aisha herself regarding the marriage contract and consummation. The text clarifies that the marriage was contracted when she was 6 years old, and she moved to the prophetic household when she was 9. Sahih Muslim corroborates this, adding that she remained with the Prophet for 9 years until his death, at which point she was 18 years old. Recognized Salafi scholars like Ibn Baz, Ibn Uthaymin, and al-Albani have addressed these narrations with rigorous historical and textual analysis. Sheikh Ibn Baz emphasized that this union was based on divine revelation, designed to preserve the Sunnah through Aisha's exceptional intellect and long life. He also noted that the marriage served to solidify the profound brotherhood between the Prophet and his closest companion, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Sheikh Ibn Uthaymin highlighted the 3-year gap between the contract and consummation, showing the marriage only finalized once she was physically ready. He clarified that maturity in the 7th century was defined by the biological onset of puberty, which often occurred earlier in warmer climates. Sheikh al-Albani defended the authenticity of these reports, rejecting modern attempts to recalculate her age as being influenced by contemporary social pressures. To understand these reports, we must place them within the global context of the 7th century. These norms were not unique to the Arabian Peninsula. In the Byzantine Empire, the legal age for marriage was 12, but among the nobility, child betrothals were frequently used for political alliances. The Sassanid Empire of Persia followed similar customs, where marriage was permissible at the onset of puberty to ensure tribal and family continuity. In medieval Europe, noble families often engaged in marriages at ages that would be considered child marriages today, long before the modern concept of adolescence. In pre-modern societies, the transition to adulthood was swift. Once a person reached biological maturity, they were expected to assume adult roles immediately. Historians and scholars note that the age of puberty fluctuated based on geography and diet, with earlier maturity being common in the Arabian climate. Judging the past by today's legal and social standards is a historical error known as presentism, an anachronistic approach to understanding history. Within her own society, Aisha's marriage was viewed as a prestigious and honorable alliance, elevating her status as the mother of the believers. She lived a life of immense intellectual authority, correcting companions and serving as a primary source for the foundations of Islamic law. In summary, the authentic narrations from Bukhari and Muslim, supported by the insights of leading scholars, provide a clear historical framework. We encourage all students of history to seek knowledge from reliable, authentic sources to truly understand the depth and wisdom of the Islamic legacy.